Hey everybody, ronarray here, and GG just released a huge patch note for patch 0.3.1. In that patch note there are going to be a lot of changes. The biggest one is probably that towers are gone, and that's been a very big news for Path of Exile 2 endgame. So in this video, I wanted to talk a little about how those changes are going to affect Path of Exile in general, how they're going to affect both prices in the game and the future game situation, which we will probably get in the next league, and which is, in my opinion, going to affect the whole experience both in the endgame and in the campaign as well. So from my perspective, I believe that all changes that GGG showcased are very good, and they're moving Path of Exile 2 in the right direction. So in this video, I will talk more about it, showcasing and explaining why you should be excited about that too. So first, let's talk about the towers and the change of the juicing in the endgame for Path of Exile 2. So right now, towers will be used only to scout your atlas. For juicing, you're going to keep using tablets, but right now you're going to use them in a different way. Tablets are going to be used for every waystone that you're entering to juice it. Every tablet would have like up to 10 users, and you will be able to use like multiple tablets, up to 3, to juice your waystone. That way, they will also buff bonuses on those tablets from the previous numbers up to 3 times more. So if you've been able to receive like 7 to 10% of rarity, right now it will be 10 to 30. So practically, if you'll have good tablets, from the standpoint of juicing, you will be able to constantly run waystones in the same fashion like you did with 3 towers effects before. But I think there's a pretty interesting point here. As you probably seen, the tablets themselves have a very huge role. So, for example, collector's tablets that GGG showcased in the patch note itself rolls from 10 to 30% rarity. And I think maximum roll tablets, like at least 25, 27, 30%, will be pretty rare, because you still can't properly reroll those tablets. And if, for example, you have like a very bad tablet, which is like 11% of rarity, for example, it will not be good and you will just need to throw them away. That way, I expect good rolled tablets cost a lot in the endgame, because there is a lot of juicing, you can get a lot of currency from overjuice maps, and that way, tablets rolled close to the maximum will definitely have a very big price. And I think not rolled at all tablets, like normal ones for example, is going to jump in price too, because people will be able to roll tablets just first for profit and second for their own juicing. However, I think it's a very good change in general, because if before you needed to search for towers, you needed to prepare the zone and run the maps only after, right now, you will be able to constantly run the zone just like with a pretty decent level of juicing. You still will need to prepare tablets, which is definitely a downside, but you needed to prepare tablets before as well. The only downside here is that I believe high rolled tablets will be not really accessible for more casual players, because they will cost a lot, and in a lot of situations it will be easier to just sell them instead of running them yourself if you're not sure how to juice or your build can't handle overjuicing itself. And another interesting point about juicing is that right now with those changes, it is impossible to get literally more than 3 towers. So since effects of the tablets but 3 times more, it will feel like 9 tablets in the current tower system. However, in the current system, there is a chance that you will get 4 towers overlap. I had those about 2 times in 0.3, and I think it would give even more overjuice compared. That overjuice is completely gone, so I think from the point of blasting and people who play a lot, juicing definitely will be a little less profitable, even if a little. I feel like GGG is trying to create more horizontal experience, which will be much more stable in terms of rewards. So it will be not crazy over rewarding for some particular people, but it will be more accessible for everybody. However, the huge role of the tablets is not really falling that good into that theory, and maybe it will be changed in the future, because I believe the range from like 10 to 30 is very big, and it could affect that idea pretty negatively. However, in that patch, there's also a few other changes that I definitely want to address. First off, GGG want to reduce the map size for some particular maps, which been very annoying before, such as Bloomingfield, for example, or Augury, or Fortress. You can see like the whole list on the screen right now. So I honestly believe it's a very good change, because there's a lot of running around in the endgame and POE2, so like maps will be smaller and it will be easier to access the monsters. Definitely good for the game itself, and I think the game in general will just respect your time more. So the next step is pretty much boss in every map. I believe boss in every map is an amazing addition. I've seen some people being unhappy about it, but from my perspective, it's a very good change. First off, boss itself is a free loot. Second, when you will need to fast complete the map, it is much easier because you can just run to the boss, kill the boss quickly, and after it, you will be able to complete the map immediately instead of running and searching for the rares. I believe it will make the progress itself like more streamlined and going to add additional potential for some particular juicing or just faster completion for the maps themselves. So I think it's a very nice change. Map bosses never been strong enough, and I think most of the decent builds will be able to kill them very fast and without a single issue. And next step, which is in my opinion is one of the best changes in the patches, that modifiers that cause the area to be covered in chilled, shocking, ignited ground now cause much less ground to be covered. So at least 66% of the ground effects currently covering the ground will be removed. I think that's absolutely crazy change, because chilled ground been one of the most annoying mechanics. It's been making your character slower here and there, and most of the players hated it because it's not really making game much more difficult. It's just slowing you down on maps, so you will lose more time to doing some trivial things. I believe that change is one of the best things that GGG implemented, because chilled ground been one of the most uncomfortable things that we had before, and seeing it maybe not gone but heavily reduced is feeling absolutely amazing. And another interesting topic is Alchemy Orbs. So Alchemy Orbs right now will have more function. You will be using them on magic items to upgrade them with into a rare item and replacing existing modifiers with 4 new random modifiers. I think that use for Alchemy Orbs will be mostly used for Waystones, so people will craft Waystones with Alchemy, and those will be up much more proactively. Anyway, I'm absolutely sure that all of those changes together, so tower change, less annoying map modifiers such as chilled ground, and smaller maps in general, together with a little economical pressure with Alchemy Orbs and tablet changes, is going to give a nice refreshment to the current league, and I think GGG will probably capitalize on those changes in 0.4. It's pretty exciting for me to see how it will work, and I will probably do at least a few videos about farming after the new changes. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. ronarray out.